What's up, Calgary? How you doing? Hello, Edmontonians. How you doing? Now, in case you don't know, I'm here at the Alberta Legislative Assembly on the invitation of my friend, MLA of Chestermere, Honorable Leela Aheer, to be introduced to the lawmakers. And here to see the proceedings of what happens on a daily basis, where men and women, come together, to plan the future, and the success of this beautiful province. And it's an honor for me to be here today, and also having my friend, my brother Tim behind the camera. Like I do it on this show, drop move a muscle, stretch. I'm here to meet my handler. Hi Jesse, how are you doing?
Good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
So we're here on the fourth floor, and I'm here meeting my amazing friend.
How are you? Hello, Tim. Very nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay, let's get you guys checked in.
Here is Honorable Leela Aheer, the MLA for Chestermere. She's been so kind to invite me to come see how the laws are made out, to talk about laws in Calgary. You want to say something to our camera?
And to honor you here in this place, you and Tim, your names will be in the history books of the legislature forever once you're mentioned here.
Amazing.
So
This
is why it's important.
What's going to happen here, folks, before you go in, I need all your electronic devices.
Okay.
There are no fluids going in, there are no cameras
Yes,
going in.
we know that.
So would you like to go first?
So this is such an amazing session. We just finished from the assembly, and then you need to come and see how the debates goes on, and like you said, they were yeah. So level 2, and then who do we have here to see today? Oh, Leela's here. We're told that if you're not part of the team, the legislative members, you're not allowed to be on that third floor. That's where we do all the discussion from where we just came out from, and quite a lot of debate for them back, order, shouting boo, order, all kind of stuff like that. So it's just take you back to the days where in school, when guys are we're talking, we're trying to get our points across to each other that, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong. No, this is not how we do it, this is how you do it. But it's quite interesting, how opposing parties, debate, issues relating to health, to economy, governance in general, education, pipeline, all sort of that. And it's quite an interesting a debate. And if you've not been here, I would encourage you to find time one of those days to come experience here.
You can imagine as we're making law in the session. So the gallery is public. You can sit in there anytime we are. Okay. None of the meetings are hidden or are in camera. Yeah. They're all open to the public. But because of safety issues, we have to make sure that people go through security and that they're not right beside the legislators. Because you can imagine if there were people right there poking you and trying to tell you what to, there can be no interference in the committee work. So if there is work that needs to be done, nowadays with cell phones it's different, right? Because your cell phones are on, you can be connecting with people outside of that room while you're sitting in there. But in order to make sure that the laws can be done without any interference, yes, that's why the chamber functions the way that it does, and safety too, right? We've had, I don't know if you saw, but the elevator that comes up from the basement over there has a bullet hole in it because we've had a gunman in this building before. Also, the Parliament in Ottawa. Wow. So there's been gunmen that have come in to, for whatever reasons. We actually, 2 years ago, there was a man who took his own life right on the stairs out here as a suicide. It was right down from my office. I heard and saw the whole thing. So there are things that happen that are beyond your control, that in order to make sure to protect the legislators to be able to do their work, or protests or anything else like that. And that's why the rules are so strict. You can't talk, you can't say anything, you can't even clap. Why you clap? Yeah, we do in the chamber because we're the ones who are doing that work inside of there. But in order to not distract or take away from that work, it's under very, very strict rules and regulations. In the designations in 1911, when the black settlers were coming into Canada, there was a concern by the governments at that time that too many black people were coming. So they made very interesting things saying that, well, Black people can't survive here. Or one of the things is that the nostrils were too wide, so they couldn't handle the cold weather because they were worried that Black Americans and Black people coming here would be too many and they would outnumber the people that were here. It's early discrimination. It's early change. It's here in Edmonton in 1911. The Chamber of Commerce put out a document stating those exact facts. Wow. So you can understand why that for all of us, my Southeast Asian and Caucasian descent and your descent and all of us, why this house is so important, why it's important that all of us are here to watch how laws are made, to see how we behave, to see the people that are your legislators. Who is it that's in front of you? How are they putting themselves to you? We are
representing us.
Yes.
What are they doing to push Albertans forward?
And also, are we accessible? We are your people. You're supposed to stand on our shoulders, my brother. That's the way it's supposed to work. We pave that way with your blessing and your guidance and to help us understand. We make laws and sometimes it's difficult. It doesn't always add up or make sense. But the issues of racism and bigotry and equity and equality have hounded multiple countries for a long, long time. But those of us who are here right now and understand the importance of that, we're going to fight really hard to make sure that the voices of all of us are heard. Yes. So that's why it's important that you're here. It's important why I'm here.
And it's an honor for me to be here today.
Our German friends are here, or Polish, or Malaysian, or Filipino, or whatever. All of the various diverse people that have built this province from the ground up. Did you know that the very first mosque was built here in North America, in Edmonton, for the Muslims, the Christians, and the Ukrainians built it together. It's a beautiful piece of art history.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Lanre has managed over the last 7 years that I've known him, mostly to self-fund all of this through his thing. And so he got some money this year from the government, and TD Bank was the main sponsor. And they are actually doing work with the Black community, and particularly women in the Black community empowerment for venture capitalism and angel funding through those organizations. So with the federal government dollars, TD Bank, and then Tim and Lanre are doing all of this advocacy work to make sure that these entrepreneurs are being acknowledged. So it was a two-day event.
Yes, this is for you.
All right.
So again, I just wanted to make
To
that.
the same?
Yes, to the same.
He is the MLA for Highlands Norwood here in Edmonton.
Hello, I love this suit.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
this is Lanre. Lanre just did an ethnic festival. This guy's going places, big time.
Still on My City Speaks to Me here at the Alberta Legislative Assembly. We'll be right back. Oh, got an Indigenous Lieutenant Governor, Ralph Steinhardt. Beautiful.
Premier Nolly, so she was the first one to get her portrait taken outside.
Oh.
She's got the doors open there, which people...
Okay. Okay, once you become a premier, you get your pictures. Oh, this is Honorable Louis E. Michel. Yeah, the Lieutenant Governor 2015. Now, for those who are watching, I had the privilege, to interview Honorable Louis E. Michel, in one of the episodes of My City Speaks to Me. So go check it out and get to see this amazing woman, beautiful woman. I'm still here with Jesse, who's taking us on a tour of this magnificent edifice. So where next?
And we're back on 2.
Okay, back on the 2nd floor. So just thank you very much for taking us on the tour of this building. I have a question before I let you go. On the average, how long does this discussion take place? How long, because I saw some of the MLAs, step out, and then some of them saying that they're going to go back. So on an average, how long, when does a discussion on daily basis end?
It It can go for hours. There's no time limit actually. So they can go, they have shifts so that they don't have to be in there all day, but there's morning shift, afternoon shift, and then evening shift. And so they can start at 7 and the evening shift can go until 2 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do they require the presence of the speaker all through?
Yeah, the speaker has to be there, and the mace actually. We missed the mace, but the big mace has to be there because that's like the queen being there.
Okay.
Since we're a constitutional monarchy,
okay,
we have to have the queen present. So the mace has to be there and the speaker has to be there.
So when does the speaker get to go on break?
There's 3 of them, they rotate.
Oh, we have 3 speakers?
Yeah, 3
That
speakers.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, or else they're on there all day, yeah.
Okay, because I can imagine if just one speaker and it's going to be there all day.
Yeah.
So while others are getting, taking an excuse to go for doing something or attend to other things, I was wondering what's going to happen to the speaker.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
good.
So they have a few. So they switch, but yeah, they've gone till 2, 3 in the morning debating before. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
So after each debate, someone gets to record the, every proceeding of the day, and then when there's a need for them to enact a law, what happens?
So they'll go through committees before that. So they debate their first reading, second reading in the House, and then they'll go into committees, and that's both sides debating, and then they'll make amendments, they'll argue about it until they have something finalized, and they'll bring it back into the chamber, and then our Lieutenant Governor comes, and she will give royal assent, and then
That means
it's
it
law.
approves as a
Yeah,
law.
It's approved, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. I'm going to allow Jess to go now because she's got to continue the business of, working, alongside supporting the MLAs and then making sure that all the guests are attended to. So thank you very much for your time today.
That's awesome.
We'll be right back. Wow, it's been an awesome experience here today at the magnificent Alberta Legislative House. Now, this building is so amazing with so much history, packed in one space. I've had the opportunity to see, opposing parties debate, talk about laws, talk about issues, that is important to them, from their constituency level. And I've had the opportunity to meet, some other ministers and talk to them, exchange pleasantries. And here's where I draw the curtain on today's episode of My City Speaks to Me, live from Edmonton, here at the Alberta Legislative Assembly. Until I come your way again with amazing episode of My City Speaks to Me, I'm still your host, Lanre Ajayi. Like I do it on this show, drop more for muscle, stretch. Now it's cold, gotta go back to Calgary.